Hi everyone, this is Amy. So now more than ever, it's critical we take care of our body and our spirit. So I hope you're all getting some quality sleep, continuing to exercise. Some of you are training with me online, and that is great. Do something you enjoy every day. I really enjoy cooking, so I decided to do another cooking video. This helps me maintain a connection with you. You can leave me notes in the comments, and I hope you do that. Make sure that we're nourishing our body with good quality meals that can help boost our immune system. Eating the right things can certainly help us do that. So today we're going to make a chili, and I have grass-fed ground beef from Trader Joe's. I buy this frozen at Trader Joe's, and I keep it in the freezer just in case, and I have a couple of them right now in the freezer. Some of you may stay away from red meat. I actually don't do that because beef protein is highly nutritious, and it can help promote muscle maintenance, which we need to do right now since we're not out and about doing our normal things like skating or going to the gym. Beef also does contain fat, and the kind that I bought has 15% fat. The fat in beef includes CLA, which has been linked to health benefits. Animal-derived foods such as meat are really the only good sources of dietary B12, which is an essential nutrient that we all need for blood formation and our nervous system. Beef is very rich in zinc. Beef also contains selenium, helps our body perform a variety of functions. We know iron, of course, it's very high in iron, and the kind that's absorbed very efficiently. Niacin, which is another B vitamin, vitamin B3, can also reduce the risk of heart disease. B6, again, another one of our B vitamins, which is important for blood formation and energy metabolism. Phosphorus, essential for body growth and maintenance. In addition to beef, we also have beans, and I have canned beans. I have a lot of these right now. Actually, every time I go to the store, I just buy a couple cans of canned beans, so I have them. We're using pinto beans, organic pinto beans from Trader Joe's, organic kidney beans from Whole Foods, and black beans, which are from Wegmans. These are not organic. I did the best I could. Beans are a good source of lean protein. So if you're vegetarian and you prefer not to use the beef, you can do this same recipe that I'm doing today using beans. Just beans without the beef. Beans help to regulate blood sugar. They improve our digestive health, provides antioxidants, which we really need right now. Because beans are rich in fiber, they do help reduce the risk of some chronic diseases. There are very few allergies that go along with beans. They do occur, but they're rare. If you don't have canned beans, you can use dried beans. We do rinse our beans because canned beans are high in sodium, so we'll be rinsing those. But if you have dried beans, you can soak them in water before you make this recipe. Tomatoes, these are organic, whole peeled tomatoes from Whole Foods. Tomatoes contain vitamin C, vitamin E, potassium, and fiber. For our seasoning today, we're using a seasoning mix. But if you don't have a seasoning mix, and you can use, I'm using Simply Organic spicy chili, but if you don't have this, you can use something like Trader Joe's chili seasoning blend, or chili powder, ground cumin, ground cayenne pepper, garlic powder, onion, salt, and pepper instead. I'm also going to be adding smoked ghost chilies. We have over here olive oil, onions, and organic garlic. So we're going to start with that. We are going to be making this in a slow cooker because I like the way that that comes out better. You can do it on the stove. I do start it on the stove in a pan. Let's start by getting some olive oil in the pan. This is extra virgin olive oil. It is Costco brand. I use lots of olive oil, and this is the most economical way for me to purchase it. Olive oil is also great for you. Start by cutting up our onions. I was able to find onions in the store. We're going to start these on low. For the garlic, I don't chop it. I'm just going to take a couple cloves out. Actually, I'm going to use more than a couple. Onions and garlic possess antiviral properties. This is not weird science. This is truth. I stocked up on garlic, and actually garlic and onions do bother my stomach a little bit because they contain fructan, and that disrupts my stomach a little bit. Because of everything that's going on, I feel like it's worth dealing with a little bit of digestive distress. So we're going to smash the garlic. You can use as much or as little as you'd like. Now we have our onion and garlic in the pan with the olive oil, and I'm going to add some of my favorite Himalayan pink sea salt. Soften these up before we add the ground beef. Now I'm going to add the ground beef. If you don't have ground beef, you can use ground turkey, ground chicken, ground pork. Use what you have at this point. Like I said, if you don't have any meats and you have beans, whether they be dried or canned, you can use just those. That's fine too. So just skip this step with the beef if that's the case. Now this is going into a slow cooker, but I start it here on the stove. Get it brown on the stove. I'm going to salt it again so the beef gets some salt. You don't have to worry too much about over salting with Himalayan sea salt. It's not as high in sodium as traditional table salt, and it has more trace nutrients and minerals. While this is browning, just turn it down a little bit. Open our tomatoes and our beans. I'll get our beans drained and rinsed. The reason why we rinse our beans is because there's a lot of sodium that's part of the process to preserve them. So rinsing them helps rid some of that excess sodium. I'm going to rinse out the inside of the can to loosen up all the beans that are still in there. Let's open our canned tomatoes. I'm going to pour these into a bowl so we can crush them. Be careful when you crush them because they'll squirt at you, so do it very gingerly. Now let's get the tomatoes and the beans in the slow cooker with the seasoning. And I'm going to add Trader Joe's smoked ghost chilies. These are very spicy. So 4 little grinds is all I'm adding. Our beef, onions, and garlic have browned enough. So let's add those in. I don't drain the fat because remember, the fat in beef contains CLA, which is actually good for you. Get this stirred up and turn it on. Have it on high for 6 hours. You can add more beans if you'd like. At the 5-hour mark, I'm going to add some frozen mixed vegetables. These are just regular old mixed vegetables that I've had in the freezer. Canned corn, you can add that. Try to make sure it's non-GMO or organic. You could also add some canned green beans or whatever you have. I like to add that into my chili. This is just gonna sit now for 6 hours. Like I said, at the 5-hour mark, I'll add in the mixed vegetables. But for now, we can sit tight for a couple hours. So now it's been about 5 hours, and I'm gonna wash my hands and give this a stir and add the mixed vegetables. So good. If you don't have frozen mixed vegetables, you can use frozen peas, frozen green beans, frozen corn, or canned if that's all you have. Or if you don't have anything, that's okay too. I'm gonna cover it back up and let it cook for another hour. In the meantime, what I'll do is I'm gonna make some cornbread because Colin loves cornbread. And also I'm gonna shred some cheese. I have New Zealand grass-fed cheddar and jalapeno Monterey Jack cheese. These come from Trader Joe's. They're both under $4 each. Now I'm gonna use a microplane grater to shred this up, rather than using pre-shredded cheese that comes in a bag, because a lot of times that contains cellulose, and they coat the cheese in cellulose to keep it separated so it doesn't clump together. But that's a wood pulp byproduct, and I don't really like putting things like that into my body. So I prefer to buy the cheese whole and grate it, but you can do whatever is right for you. So that's it. Another hour in a slow cooker. Add some grated cheese, make some cornbread, and you've got dinner. Stay home and be well. I'll see you soon.